is episode 4. You can believe it. We're just finishing up getting the oats combined. The class is just finishing doing that, and the dealership called and said that the Massey baler had just shown up, and the Arcusan bale accumulator had just shown up. I had bought those the same time that I bought the Fendt. So what I ended up doing is grabbing the 4455. I dropped off the Vermeer mower as it's going to be traded, and we're going to be getting one of the MacDon self-propelled mowers. I need something that can do things a little bit more variable than what that Vermeer was going to do, and I didn't like how it was bouncing around and doing all sorts of stuff that way. So we've updated that, but this 4455 with the wide spread on it is going to be awesome on this baler. Now, what we're going to be doing is actually getting some subscriber contracts started here today. So Bennett Equestrian has requested 14 small square bales, so that will fit into one Arcusan grouped baling set. And then Ranger Ed Zoo, they've requested 14, so another big bale for them. And then Rosie's Decorations has asked for 28, so that'll be 2 full bales. So we'll try and rip those off with this to start with. I'm probably going to get that on the wheat field, and then I do have a couple others that are looking for truckloads worth of big squares that are grouped small squares. So we'll see what we come up with for that. If anything, we'll just use the big square from the big pack there and sell them off. But for now, we're going to do little squares with this. We'll try and get our 28 times 2 for these three people, and we'll go from there. So I'm just getting back here to the shop. Like I said, the Kloss is running out the back. They're trying to rip that last little bit of oats off. So we'll swing back over there and check that in a minute. But we'll get a bit of baling done here at the front and see what we get here. Actually, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. It looks like the rain, we might get a little bit of a drizzle here coming around 6:37, 7:30, somewhere in there. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. But we're going to try and get bales here as much as we can to get this looked after for these guys without any rain on it. It's nothing worse than having bales with rain on it. Let's see if we can pick up this great big area here. That cleaned up, and then should be off to the races. There's such a market for small square bales. It's horse farmers still love it. Some of the smaller people that have sheep and things like that, they absolutely love the small squares. And where I'm from, the bale baron actually is the biggest way of putting the bales together into a large square. But obviously that's not in the game yet, and the Arcusan is another great way of doing it. So we'll just wait and see if something from Bale Baron actually does come out in some mods as we carry on with this series. But for now, we'll just use the Arcusan to be able to do that. So so I'm looking for, there's 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're looking for 14, and then 28. 56 in total. Won't take long to get that, actually. Well, we'll see what we might even be able to get that at a couple windrows here. And then the decision will be, should we try and get enough small squares to build a trailer, or should we just do the big bales and do the trailer loads that way, because it is definitely a lot quicker. So we'll see how far we get here with this. So very happy with the last 3 videos that I've done. Very happy that people are actually starting to watch them, so thank you all for that. As new people start to watch, don't forget to remember to put some subscriber contracts into the comment section that you would like fulfilled. As I've said before, these are just ones that I've created with some friends to get me started, but we definitely want to try and tailor this to subscribers and people that are actually watching the videos. So please, please remember to do that, and it'll just make it that much more interactive with the customers subscriber base that's watching. There's 25. Go look at that. Look at this. Easier with the smaller baler. So I've made a decision that we're not going to do anything with the Kloss combine at this point. Just don't have the money or the need to be able to do that right at this very second. So we'll be sending it back, but I want to thank Kloss for having that come out and letting us give it a shot. I definitely would consider that down the road as we look to upgrade combines in the future. I think it'll be near future, but in the future for sure. And I'm still thinking on the 1156. So that unit's got some hours on it. It's a demo, and there's some pretty good financing programs out there to be able to finance that machine. There's actually a 0% for 36 months lease available on it. So I'm wondering if maybe that might be a direction to go with it and have a lease. Everything that we have on the farm now that my father-in-law owned is owned. He doesn't have anything owing on the machines. Obviously, they're older machines. There isn't anything older than a 2018, and therefore it's paid for. So there's still obviously value to those machines, but we're going to try and run that equipment just because it's not costing us anything for as long as we can. But if we need to upgrade something because we pick up some more land or something comes down the pipeline of needing something with some more capacity, whatever it ends up being, we'll keep it in mind as to whether or not we can lease it or buy it. One of the rules, though, is with leasing is that it's not a rental. It is a lease. It is we're going to pay the payments for it, and it's going to be set up as a 2-year, 3-year, whatever the terms would be that way, as if it would be in real life. Typically, it's a 3 or a 5-year lease. So we'll keep it that way in this game, and the machines will be getting payments made on it throughout the course of the year. I think that's the only realistic way to be able to do it. So we'll do that, and yeah, we'll just see where this whole takes us. I know there's a bunch of stuff that I'd like to play with, but at the same point, I don't want to be making huge, massive, gigantic payments either. So, all right, let's see what we're at. We're at 48, so we need another 6. Sorry, 8. Get the 56 and then we'll just shut it off. I might cut away for a minute, make sure that combine's working properly, getting everything done over there, and then they were going to deliver the Arclusen for me here this afternoon yet, so we'll try and get these bales picked up. Alright, so there's 56. So shut it off, empty the bale chamber out. Actually got 58 out of it, so that's good. We can stick it off to the side somewhere, and we'll just put this back in the yard, and I'll cut away for a quick minute, and we'll come back in a couple seconds and we'll see what we got. Okay, well, the Yakuza's on its way. One of the dealer guys is bringing the unit over here with I guess one of the Fendt tractors they had sitting in the yard. So you can see that they're on their way as we speak. Um, Actually, it's a pretty nice looking 724. What they've actually got, older Gen 6. So we'll get it put on the 720 is what I think we're going to do. We'll let it run around. We'll get that bale grab off the front and then get these all picked up. And then I think what we're going to do is let's get one of these fields at least picked up before the rain comes with the big square. And we'll be able to get it loaded up and be able to get those bales over to our storage for the cows. We've also got a storage for the chickens and the pigs over on the side road, and we'll get a truckload over to there too, and then whatever else we have left will get sold to our subscriber contracts. I don't know if we're going to have time to do any of the other small ones here, but we'll get the big ones done for sure and get this straw picked up between here and the next day. Okay, let's drop it off. They can get back on their way, headed down the road. So pretty nice looking rig there. It's going to do 14 bales and pack it vertically and then dump it out as a bale. The bale baron is bigger. It does 3 rows of 7 instead of just 2 rows of 7. Um, I'm hoping somebody does create that mod because that would actually be pretty cool to be able to hook that on the back of the baler to be able to do that. But we'll swing over here to the 720, grab it. I'll probably just leave that bale grab right on the top of these bales for the time being, and then we'll get over there and get those bales picked up. All right, first time I've actually got to use this tractor. Right. Just square baled straw. It smells amazing. All right, so we're gonna have to do it this way. I don't think I'll be able to see very well. It's like about 5 mile an hour is going to be just about perfect. Couldn't imagine having to pick these all up by hand. Oh. You know, back when I was a kid, there was a New Holland, and it was a self-propelled bale processor where it picked up the small squares and made them into big stacks that you could put into a mow or just into a barn and pull them off. But they were old. I don't know if they even make them anymore. One of the modders had that in the game a little while ago, but this is the only one that we've got, and there's a lot of people using these Yakuzans, and they quite like them, so we'll go with this for now. It's worked just fine. Doesn't take very long, actually. It's pretty quick. one thing I wish that the bale algorithm, or whatever you want to call it, was a little bit more detailed with the fact that it lets these bales come out the way that they come out. It'd be nice if they just dropped on the ground, or they did a quarter turn like they're supposed to, but they don't. There's one. So that's Bennett Equestrian. We've got your first set of bales coming to you here. We'll get them over to you probably tomorrow. This is where the CVT of the 720 is perfect for this kind of a job. Keep the RPMs down, don't need to have it spinning crazy amount on the PTO, just enough to power everything, and set the CVT at 5 mile an hour, and it just stays there the whole time. I think this field's going to have a ton of bales off of it. It's going to be interesting to see how many we have left over after we take a truckload to each of our farms to be able to look after things for the winter. But I'll show you that listing of straw bales right here. You can see we've got Bennett, Ranger Eds, Rosie's Decorations, and then the other ones here. We'll see if we can fill as many of those as possible too. There's two, so that's Ranger Ed's zoo that is going to get that next bale. And then there should be 28 left for Rosie's Decorations. I'm guessing she's using them for Halloween stuff coming up here is probably where that's going to get used and sold. So yet today, if we can get this baling done, we'll probably get into some animal stuff into the next episode. Just making sure that everything's ready to go into September. And then as September comes along, as I said in the other video, we'll get into that hang. I've got a bunch of people that want our Clues square baled again. So we'll end up doing that again. That's why I thought it was so worth getting this, is that there's so many people that want it, and they'll pay a great premium for it, especially the equestrian places, to make sure they've got quality hay and straw. The goal is to have everything as a organic setup is what we're aiming for, coming with everything under the digesters. So that's the plan. Everything that you've seen here was digestate, and they did end up putting some liquid fertilizer down on top of it. But the goal would be here is if we can get everything into an organic state on a lot of these farms, they're going to pay more again for us to be able to sell our crops and get a premium off of it. So we'll get to the end here, get this last bale done. I'm going to run back over and take a look, make sure the combines are done, and then we'll hop in the deer and we'll start running some big squares here, get them ripped off here as quick as we can. two. We'll pick the other two up that are right here and just leave them in the chamber. Neat how it just drops out the back like that and doesn't fall apart, but it works. Okay, last two. There we go. All right, we'll go park this in the shed, and I'll run over and see how that combine's making out. All right, we'll see you in a minute here. All right, so harvest is done. We'll run this back over to the yard. We'll end up giving this a good wash before we take it back to the dealership there. But it was pretty awesome to play with, and really appreciate them bringing it over for us. So I'll bring it up just on the back side here, and we'll deal with it in a day or so. Give it a good blow off and everything right back here, and that. And then we'll run back over and just grab that buggy, get it unloaded into the truck, and then it's done as well. Oats and wheat are officially done for 2024. Oats and wheat are officially done. As I say, I'm torn on this tractor. I love it, but we'll have to see what the payments are going to be on it, whether it's actually worth it or not. And maybe what we'll do is maybe we trade two. Maybe we take the Challenger and the E410 and trade them, and maybe get rid of the buggy and just do one tractor for buggy, tillage, that sort of thing. But then we also can't till at the same time as when we're doing corn and stuff. So not sure that that's going to work either. But lots of ideas. We'll see. Okay, so that truck's actually full. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is, just for the moment, I'm going to tarp this. And I'm going to tarp the truck. I can get them moved later. I would really like to get Baling here. I'm also going to tarp our grain buggy. Go. And get run on this baler here. Try and get as much straw baled up as we possibly can here. It's looking like rain in a couple hours, if that. All right, let's get going here. Okay, when we're off. So what's everyone's favorite mods right now? I try to use ModHub as much as possible. I got a couple other places that I'm pretty confident in for being safe and reliable, and where I get a couple of these older deer models and stuff from. What's everyone thinking for their stuff? Where do you get your mods from? So we've got 15 bales done so far with this one. Land's cleaned up. Driving all over it. That Lexian makes massive windrows. Just a little bit there. All right. So we'll get this field done. Probably get the other field done off camera. We'll keep working on this and try and get some of these picked up in the next little bit, and then be able to start into September on the next month for the next episode. Glad we're finally getting into some of the contracts now, which is makes it a little bit more fun. This is, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is fun too, but actually knowing where our products are going to get to go, and that we're going to get a couple contracts fulfilled and some money coming in is pretty cool. The other issue and the other decision I have to make is what I'm going to do with this baler too, because the Coon round baler that I've got isn't going to work for volume that I want, and it places bales all over the field, which makes it more difficult to pick up. Whereas the Crone with the accumulator on the back makes it so simple. That grabber that we got for the 720 is, I can already tell that it's going to be awesome. So the efficiencies that we can gain there for the amount of straw that we're actually doing probably is worth looking at doing this too. But what do we do? Do we do a tractor? Do we do the baler? Do we do both? Do we add an extra buggy in? But the combine probably doesn't need it. So there's lots of decisions here. I would look to you as the subscribers and people coming to watch. What do you think? What's you've seen this farm, you've seen what we're doing with it. The equipment's all older, it's all working, but it's getting up on hours. What do you think we should do? We'll get spun back around and try and go up this I need that bale. Did catch those bales. Oh well, we'll get them back when we pick them up. And this is where the windrow came down when we were finishing that last little pass with the cloths on a short spot, so we'll have to come back down this. But it's okay. You're at our 8R sure handles it good. We're gonna bail out before we get to the end. Let's hope we can make it there without having to worry about. I don't think we're gonna close. Veer off really quick here to try and get it so that it doesn't dump a bale back on the straw. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2. Well, that did fall. Should have gone the other way. Okay, well, we'll have to move those before we can come back down that pass. Got the 720 and do that. Clean this up right here. All right, well, I'm going to keep going at this. As I said, we'll try and get all these windrows baled up on both the straw and the oats, and start picking some of them up. Probably have that as part of the start of the next video, is picking the straw bales up and getting some of them delivered. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Something a little different with the baling today. We got the combine finished up on the oats. We've had a really good afternoon here getting the 2 fields done. The 2 combines definitely helped, and we'll push on here tonight to try and get all this baled up, and then be able to pick bales up probably the first of the next episode, and then we can start doing some cover crops. We can start doing some tillage. We can get the hay cuts and some silage bales made over on our alfalfa field, and yeah, carry on and see what else we can get. So I hope everyone's enjoying the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.